Okay, last lesson in the unit. This is kind of far out there. A lot of you probably aren't going to care about this, but you need to do the assignment and do it to the best of your ability. Okay. E, we've already talked about E. It's a special number. If you remember, second ln, e to the 1 power 2.72. So you're essentially finding what that number to what power is 18. Well, who the heck knows? You know what I'm saying? So you need to use what's known as this ln function. You need to write what the heck ln actually means. Ln is known as the natural log. Okay? Natural logarithm. Just put log. Now you use it to solve E equations. Okay? Alright, so we have e to the x power equals 8. Now I'm solving for x, and x is to a power, okay? So the prudent thing to do would be to parenthesize the power along with its base. Now there's no operations outside of there, so now I circle the power. But, okay, you can't do the log over log with a base e, okay? Here's how you get rid of it. Here's how you solve an equation involving a base e. You take the natural log of both sides. You put ln, ln. Now here's what that does. It cancels out the e, and now you have just the expression, the variable x. But on the other side, it's not 18 is not the answer. You got to find what the natural log of 18 is. Well, you punch in ln, okay, then 18, 2.89. That's the answer. So 2.89. Okay, next one, e to the power of x divided by 5 plus 4 equals 7. Again, the variable I need to solve for is within the power. It's in the exponent. Okay, so you parenthesize the power and the base. Now, before you get rid of that, you got an operation outside there, and you have to minus 3. Or minus 4, my bad, minus 4. Which would become 3. So 3e to the x divided by 5 power. Now you can circle your power, but you're not able to do log over log. You take the natural log of both sides of the equation. Okay. What that does is now frees my exponent to become just a regular expression. Okay. And then I take ln 3, 1.10. Okay, then you get rid of the divide by 5 with the times 5. It just ends up being a linear equation. That's 5.50 or 5.5. Okay, so far pretty easy. You're going to get annoyed real fast here after this first part. 3 times e to the 2x power equals 12. Again, we're solving for an exponent. Okay, we're solving for a power, so we parenthesize the exponent along with its base. Okay, now I get rid of my times 3 with a divide by 3. It takes that value to 4 on that side, and you still got e to the 2x power. Now, to get to your 2x, you can't use log over log. You got to take the natural log of both sides, ln. So now 2x can become just a linear expression. Then I have to find, don't just put a 4, you got to punch in ln 4. A lot of people I know are just going to put 4. Don't be one of those people. 1.39. Now I just use linear properties. I divide by 2. 1.39 divided by 2 is 0.70. Okay, next one, e to the power of x divided by 2 equals 5. Kind of jumped the gun there with my parentheses, but we were solving for a power, so the power and the base are parenthesized. Now I don't have any operations outside, so now I circle my exponent, and to get to it, you take ln of both sides, because that gets rid of the e. And then I know that the x divided by 2 is now just a linear expression, and I take ln 5, so 1.61. Okay, now you apply linear properties. You get rid of a divide by 2 with a times 2. And then 1.61 times 2 is 3.22. Now these are all pretty much the same process. Cross them out. I'll do that one at the bottom. Okay. 2 times e to the x divided by 9 power minus 8 after the power equals 6. So again, you're solving for x, and x is within a power. So you parenthesize the base e in the power. Now before you worry about in there, you got two operations outside that exponent expression that need to be dealt with. So you have a minus 8, you're going to plus 8 first. Then you have a times 2, you're going to divide by 2. So you plus 8, and that is 14. Then you have to divide by your 2, and that takes you to 7. And now the operations outside have been canceled out. Okay. Now circle the exponent and you use your ln. So you have x divided by 9, just the linear expression. Please do not just put 7. You need to take natural log 7, ln 7. It's that easy. 1.95. Then I applied linear properties. I times 9 times 9. And 1.95 times 9 is 17.55. What you need to do is pause this video after I show you something. Pause this video now. There's 6 problems in the assignment. Pause the video and do numbers 1 and 5. 1 and 5, okay? 1 and 5, you won't know how to do the rest till you resume the video. Okay, now you got a different ball game. You have 3 times the natural log of x, you might want to put that in parentheses, minus the natural log of 2 equals 4. Now you handle a natural log like a logarithm. Before you care about how many answers the equation has, you need to condense it, okay? Condense. So first off, this multiplier of 3 goes on the x as a power, okay? Just properties of logarithms. Now you put ln and you just put it once, and you have x third and 2. You have a minus, so it's x to the third divided by 2, and then equals 4. Now, we still don't know how many answers there are until this ln goes away, okay? So you're like, it's not a power. The x definitely is not a power. The power is 3, okay? So what you do is you put little caret symbols to the bottom left of each side, and you put the base e. These are going to be, both sides are going to become exponents, and here's why we do that, because the e and the ln cancel. Now I just have the expression x to the third divided by 2. You don't need to put the parentheses anymore. Now to find what you're equal, you got to find what the heck e to the 4th power is. So I go second, 4. 54.60. Now we can talk about what we need to do after that. So you need to condense it first, okay, just like you would with a normal logarithm. And then when you're dealing with ln, okay, natural log, you're going to need to take e, make both sides into powers, okay, with those caret symbols, and put e on there. Okay, so again, x third divided by 2, then e to the 4th power. Now you have x to the 3rd power. At first glance you say, oh, 3rd power, that's 3 different answers. Well, until you get to the fact that you have x to the 3rd only. X to the 3rd is the only power you have, okay? So if that's your only power, there can be 1 or 2 answers, okay? You're not using factoring properties here, okay? Actually, just put x third only. We'll worry about the 3 answers. When that's the only power that the x is 2, you don't use your factoring properties, okay? You use your linear properties, linear prop, and then you apply a radical of a 3. Okay, linear properties, you got to get rid of the divide by 2 with the times 2. That's what linear properties mean. So 54.60 times 2 is 109.2. Linear properties, now you apply a radical of a 3. Now you figure that out. Okay. This is an odd radical, so it's not positive or negative, only the positive. 3 second caret 109.2. 3 second caret, just like I did. 3 second caret 109.2. I got 4.78. Now you're like, where are my other two answers? They don't exist. Get them out of there. Okay. Next one, ln of x plus ln, then you get x plus 3 equals 4. First you have to condense it. If you have an equation you have to solve with any kind of logarithm, whether it be a log with a base or ln, you have to condense it. So you put ln, okay, and in parentheses you put x times, and you'll need another parentheses for the x plus 3, okay. Then you close it, and then equals 4. Now we get rid of the ln with e, but you make e into a base of a power. Now over here, you need to probably multiply this out, okay? X times x, x times 3. Okay, so you have x to the second plus 3x. Then you need to find what the heck e to the fourth power is. So second ln, then a 4. 54.60. So you have x to the second. So you're like, oh, there's two answers, and there's probably going to be. But unfortunately, that's not the only power you have. You have x with it. So you cannot use linear properties. You have to use factoring properties. Factoring prop. In factoring prop, you got to get everything to one side. So clear this side. That can't go with anything, so it just hangs out. So we put the x to the second with a 1, a plus 3x, a minus 54.60 equals 0. Now you're like, oh, ABCT. No, or GCFT. Don't do those boxes when you have a decimal. Just go straight to your ABC and you apply the quadratic formula. So opposite of B, opposite of B, plus or minus the square root, B squared minus 4AC, B squared minus 4AC over 2A, over 2A. So the opposite of positive 3 is negative 3. A is 1, so we know that's 2. So now we have negative 3 and 2. Then B is 3, A is 1, C is negative 54.60. Plug that square root into your calculator. It's just a regular square root. So you go second x squared. Okay. If there's no number out there, just do second x squared, not the caret. Okay. Now you need a parentheses just for the 3. Okay. Second power. It should be going in just like I'm punching in 4, 1, and negative 54.60. And I got 15.08. That takes me to my two answers. So I take negative 3 plus 15.08 divided by 2, 6.04. Then I take negative 3 and subtract 15.08 divided by 2, negative 9.04. So when you have x to different powers, unfortunately, you have to move everything to one side. If you end up with a trinomial, the GCFT is not the way to go, okay? Just because it's a decimal. Because when you take e to a power, it's always a decimal. Okay, I see two ln's, 4 times the natural log of x plus 2 times the natural log of 5. Get these multipliers as exponents, okay? That's how that works. Okay, then you use your condensing rules. So ln, and you go x to the fourth, and it's a plus, so it's going to be times, not divided by, like the last one. 5 to the second, just put that as 25. That obviously needs to be simplified, then equals 6. I get this stupid ln out of here by applying a caret and putting a base of e. This cancels, and please write that as 25. Put the 25 in front of the x to the 4th, and then e to the 6th power. So second ln 6, 403.43. So now that all the crap is dealt with, okay, x to the 4th, you might think there's 4 answers, but I don't think it's going to be that many. But at least have them there. You have x to the 4th only, so we don't need to factor. You don't need to move everything to one side. X to the 4th only means I use my linear properties, and then I apply a radical with a 4. Okay, so I divide by 25. That's what linear properties mean. Okay, 403.43 divided by 25 is 16.14. Then you drop the power by applying a radical of that to the other side. Now this time the radical's even. See, the first one of these I did, it was a cubed root. That's odd. This is even, so you need the positive or negative. So I go 4 second caret. That's how you do a non-square root. The number second caret, 16.14. It's 2 basically. So it's positive 2, negative 2, then the other 2 don't exist. Okay, next one. ln x minus the natural log of 3. Okay, so you have to condense it. And it's minus, so it's going to be x divided by 3. Make sure you pay attention whether it's division or plus. Equals 7. So now you apply the caret. The best bet's to get all this ln crap, this ln garbage out, this logs garbage out before you worry about how many answers there are. So I have x divided by 3 now. But don't just put 7. You got to find what e to the 7th power is. 1096.63. Yep, that's right. Now x is to the 1st power, so 1 answer. You just use your linear properties and you don't have to do a radical. Okay, so you get rid of your divide by 3 with a times 3. So I take 1096.63 times 3, and I got 3289.89. We'll be doing this one. Natural log of x plus natural log of x plus 4. That was nice. I put the parentheses there for you so you clear all this logarithm crap out of the equation. So ln, okay. First you got x, then times, and you're going to want to put the x plus 4 into parentheses. 1 closes it like that, equals 6. Now the e will take out the natural log as long as you make it a caret. Okay, you have to simplify. You're going to have to FOIL or distribute, whatever you want to call it on this side. 1 x to x, x to 4. So x to the 2nd and 4x. Okay. So I write down here x to the 2nd plus 4x equals whatever e to the 6th power is. So second ln 6, 403.43. So x is going to have, I think at this point, 2 answers. It's not a power, it's to a power, but not a power. Okay, now unfortunately for us, we have x second x. We cannot use the linear properties. We have to use the factoring properties, which is when you have to get everything to one side. So you got 1x second plus 4x minus 403.43 equals 0. I am not going to do a GCFT with a decimal. That's stupid. So you go ABC and go right into the quadratic formula. Can't really factor with decimals. So opposite of B is -4. B is 4. And then A is 1. C is -403.43. And then A is 1. Okay, so you have -4. 2 times 1 is 2. Go to your calculator. So second, key next to the 7. You need first parentheses for a 4. -4, 1, and -403.43. Okay, 40.37. That's going to take me to the two answers. So -4 plus 40.37 divided by 2, 18.19. Then -4 minus 40.37 divided by 2, -22.19. Okay, we're skipping the next one. Let's do this one. Okay, 2 times the natural log of x plus 4 times the natural log of 2. Get these multipliers as exponents inside of the product of the logs. Okay. Then you got to condense, obviously. So ln, and you have just x to the 4th, and it's plus 2 to the 4th, so that means times when I condense. 2 raised to the 4th, you want to figure out what that is. That's 16. Okay. If you want to put 16 right there, that's fine. And then equals your 5. And get this ln nonsense out of here with the e. Okay, we can't really simplify that. Put the 16 in front of the x to the 4th, though. Okay. Equals, and then I find what e to the 5th is. Second ln e to the 5th. 148.41. So I have x to the 4th. You might think there's 4 answers, and I'll write them down, but that doesn't mean we'll have to fill them all in today. Okay? Especially on this one, because you're not going to factor. You have x to the 4th only. So we should not be moving everything to one side. We should be doing linear properties and then applying a radical of a 4th degree. Okay? So linear properties, get rid of your times 16 with the divide by 16. And then I take 148.41 divided by 16, 9.28. Now when you're applying the radical, at least know whether it's positive, negative. It is both positive and negative because it's an even root. So 4 second caret, 9.28, 1.75. So that's the positive and the negative. Then those not exist. Okay, I'll do this one quick. This is going to be an easy one. First, you got to condense. You don't have any multipliers in front, so there won't be any exponents applied. ln 2 times x. Okay, should be fairly easy. Equals 1. Now I apply my e. So this cancels. You got 2 times x. You can't really simplify that. Then I go second ln 1. Okay, 2.72 because that's what e is equal to. So there's got to be only one answer because x is to the 1st power. You're just applying the linear properties. And then you divide by 2, divide by 2. 2.72 divided by 2, 1.36. Okay, last problem. Okay. Natural log of x plus 1 plus the natural log of x minus 2 equals 4. So we go right to condensing. ln. Now you're going to want to put a parenthesis, inner parentheses here, because you get times, and then x minus 1, whole thing. okay, equals 4. So you take your e with the caret, that cancels. Now you obviously need to multiply this garbage out, okay? FOIL, x times x times -1, 1 times x, and 1 times -1, okay? So that's x second. That's a -1x, and that's a positive 1x, which cancel, and then -1. So over here I can just write x to the second power minus 1, and then I find e to the fourth power, so second ln, and 4, 54.60. Now, I would think x would have two answers, okay, but I do not need to apply factoring principles because it's x second only, okay? So you use your linear properties, and you're just going to use a square root. You can put a 2 there, but getting rid of a second power is just a regular square root. I mean, if you want the 2, you can put it. So you add the 1. That takes you to 55.60. Positive, negative, because it's even, it's an even root. And then you go 2 second caret 55.60. That one you could just go second x squared too, because it's a square root. 7.46. Okay, so positive and negative. Okay, now you ready for the 4 problems in the back? Okay, number 2 will take you the longest. That will be one where you have an x second and an x. You'll have to move everything to one side, use a quadratic formula, but in these subsequent ones, you should be able to just use the linear properties. Some might need a radical.